Good evening, fiends. Welcome to another episode of Sinister Parlor Podcast. I'm Zombie Barbie with my awesome and amazing and incredible co-host, the one and only Bud Vino.
Rhiannon Nicole, Zombie Barbie, thank you for the humbling intro as usual. Rhiannon, we have an awesome guest lined up today, and I know you're excited. I'm going to let you do the intro because you've been talking about this guest all week, and you've earned it, my friend. Let it rock.
All right, so our guest tonight is writer, producer, and actress of this incredible, amazing movie, Vampie, the silliest vampire movie ever made, Ming Ballard.
Hi! Hi, everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Zombie Barbie and Bud, for having me.
Being a vampire is for the birds, especially if you're allergic to blood.
I want that vampire. We shall be worshipped. We shall be as gods.
Why you vampire?
The vampire's life force extraction process isn't just capable of keeping me alive.
I don't get it, man.
It's capable of extremely dark things, too.
I want you to destroy the vampire.
And Ezra Sinclair?
Kill her, too.
Whacked by the Vatican. You have arrived.
My sole mission is to hunt down and kill everything unholy that crawls on this planet.
I don't crawl.
Oh, it's gone.
Stolen.
We'll have to get that thing back, or this thing here starves to death.
I'm not gonna eat your chihuahua.
I guarantee you, without my help, he will kill you and your friends.
Dear Lord, if I live through this, I ain't never gonna sin again.
I'm going after the vampire.
That's just hot.
You're giving this vampire a freaking headache. Where's Grace?
You're too late.
I thought this was supposed to be a safe house. I don't feel so safe anymore.
I just want to live my damn life and eat my pie.
Hey, you guys, thank you so much for interviewing me. I'm just like, we're clowns.
We're so excited.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for coming on. This is a pleasure for us, too. So we're just as giddy. And I love your energy. You have a really nice, doesn't she, Rhiannon?
She really does. Yeah.
Law of attraction, sort of positive energy. I love it. I can feel it.
Thank you. You know what? This is interesting, but I've noticed something amongst horror writers, that we tend to be the most optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Horror writers, because we're so close to the darkness, and we expose it, we bring it to light. But instinctively, we know that there is a light, diametrically opposite of that, and I think we're the most optimistic, really spiritual people out there.
I agree.
I couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Rhiannon's too. Empathetic as well. We can feel, and like you said, I think because we're not afraid to expose ourselves because of being that way, I guess.
I'm super empathetic.
Too.
I'm like a friggin' sponge. And then I have to go to a quiet place and just, recharge.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not stingy with energy. There's enough of it. I like to make people happy.
Well, you're amongst friends here, and Rhiannon and I have that same mindset. Believe me, Rhiannon and I, we do the show together, but we're also the best of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had a lot of these conversations. So I know Rhiannon's smiling because you're right on our level with that. We're on that same level. So this is going to be a great show. You have an awesome energy.
Thank
and
you.
An awesome personality, and your movie was fantastic.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
I had the pleasure of taking in most of it. I gotta watch be candid, like the last 10 minutes. My mother-in-law was here, so I have to catch that. But you can spoil it for me because I have to go back. I have it on Prime.
Well, okay, so it looks like it ends, but you got to watch some of the credits because there's more afterwards. There's more about Chippy. You give some kind of a what happens down the line with the characters. You know,
Yeah.
like
I don't know.
I didn't
if
want to
watched
put it at
after
the very end
credits.
because people, you know, they don't watch all the credits.
Well, it's definitely good. Artsy, too, and Rhiannon's watched it several times. We won't give too much away before the show.
I love it.
I
so
heart you,
much.
girl.
I love you.
Yeah, Rhiannon was raving about it and you.
Mhm.
From when she first connected with you. She messaged me and said, this woman, because Rhiannon's pretty good with that whole energy thing, too. So right away, she was real connected with you in that way. So I began hearing about you so much, then watching your movie. I'm in the presence of greatness here. I've heard so much about you. There you are, tangibly. She's alive. She's here.
Well, I gotta tell you. I wrote the script. I paid for the movie. With my entire life savings, took a calculated risk. Because I realized, someone very wise once said, the money you have sitting in the bank, it's not meant to sit in the bank. It's meant to propagate something and create something for you. And so I did that, but without director Melissa Tracy, who, and the producer Phil S. Laxon. So she told me she read the script, fell in love with it, and initially Phil was like, you know what, don't do any direction, let the director run with it. So Melissa received the script, and I could just see the rotors turning in her mind, and she came up with all these amazing ideas, and so really what I did was just put it on paper, but without the vision of the director, you ain't got nothing, you know. And the crew, the cast, I mean, it was the most, they were wonderful. I mean, without them, I'd be nothing. It'd be nothing. The actors, the cinematographer, Adam Shearer, Melissa Tracy, director, Phil S. Flaxon, who's like this gorgeous Norwegian guy. I saw him.
Now you really got Rhiannon's attention now.
I know. He was fine. Rides a motorcycle. Anyway, I met him at Pete's Coffee, and we looked at each other, and we're like, but then we started talking, and I was like, yeah, I got a movie. And I said, so I paid $5,000 to this guy to do a trailer when I was thinking that it was going to be so much bigger, money-wise, that it would cost so much more. Phil saw the trailer, and he's like, girl, you got ripped off. It was a $5,000 trailer, and it was just pure garbage. And Phil, all of a sudden, he had this, the heroic Viking in him came out, and he goes, how much you got? And I was like, I told him, I said, it's all I got. He goes, do you trust me? I said, I trust you. And, but now this isn't like we just met at Pete's Coffee for the first time. I mean, we'd seen each other, talk, that sort of thing. And he catapulted me into bravery to making this happen. And, it was originally, the script was not Vampie. The script was originally called O Negative, and it was not a comedy. It was a straight-up epic horror. And my business partner, Jennifer James, she had read it a few years ago. She goes, this thing's friggin' epic. This is like Tolkien. But, what happened was it was clocked by several industry people in the know as costing at least, $15 million to really make it look as it would. I didn't have $15 million. So I had very little. So what I did was I ripped the armature out of O Negative, and I created something. I ripped out at least 12 characters, started from scratch, and said they got to have something to tie them together. Hey, how about a vampire pie? So Vampie is really an ancillary idea to O Negative.
I like both those names though. O Negative is a good name too, but it's the band too. O Negative is awesome.
Typo Negative.
Typo Negative, yeah.
Peter, what's his
Well,
name?
you can still. The great thing is you can still use Typo Negative in the future, Ming. See, that's a great thing. You could do something else, but you can still have that title.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I still have the script. I mean, I have a
Part
unicorn.
2.
Yeah, I got a unicorn named Abraxas. I got a werewolf, General Samael. And Azure Galaxy Hops. I mean, she's like, it's very dark. It's very dripping with lechery and red candles and bright Kenneth Anger-esque colors and
we
so,
did that. We did. Brianna and I did that.
Yeah. So my next project, we already have a movie deal on it. It's a feature film. It's horror, and it's called The Red River. And there's no comedy in it. There's some moments, of levity, but it's definitely like my magnum opus. It's I cut my teeth on Vampie, but The Red River, I was in a dark place when I wrote it. I don't know. You have to sort of go there, and I just remember going to Paris, and okay, this is really bad. I snuck into Père Lachaise cemetery at night.
Oh,
and I went to bed near Jim Morrison's grave. I wanted something, I don't know what, but I wanted to align with a sort of something. And I was here amongst the greats. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared at all. The Père Lachaise cemetery is so huge. I looked into the darkness, and I would see little random tiny fires, meaning there were other people doing the same thing. And I just remember just leaning back, and I couldn't lean up against Morrison's grave, but I was close enough, because they have it fenced off, because people were like doing some weird shit, you know what I mean? Me, I just wanted to do it. I couldn't explain why, but it put me in the mindset of darkness. And then I finished up The Red River. So it's a Faustian tale about, the price people are willing to pay for superstardom. Oh, yeah. And it's horrific, and it's that's all I'll say, but it's going to be huge. I feel it. I feel it.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. Ming, you've got some range. I think you're looking, that's I think what you're excited about, testing that range, right?
I thought
he did too.
You said range. You saw it too. You saw it? Okay, I admit it. I have a little.
Range.
Just a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, you did it in Vampie as well, though, even though it was comedic. But you had some parts where your character went from kind of smiley to real serious real quick.
Yeah.
So, and that was cool to see, too, that you have that ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You were off-putting in that way. You were off-putting in that way. Your character kind of kept you on the edge of your seat in that way. So, yeah, hats off to you. It was good.
Thank you. She was pretty hard to play, believe it or not, because the other characters are so, they're so extreme, and Azure is sort of the straight man, for lack of a better term. But when you play a straight man with incredibly talented actors with, incredibly, I mean, they maxed everything out. The director told them, max it out, make it up and down. So here I am, the straight man, trying to keep things interesting. So it was hard. People think, it must be easy to act what you write. Oh, honey, it ain't. Trust me. It's actually harder because you second guess yourself. What I mean? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Right. We've learned sometimes, Brianna and I, just to don't think, just jump. Mm-hmm. And just sometimes Brianna and I will really overthink. Oh, yeah. And that's when we doom ourselves. So we always say, we interlock arms and we jump together. We don't think. We just, boom, here we go. Yeah. When it comes to the show, so it works.
Yeah.
I studied under the tutelage. One of my acting teachers was Bobby Chance, and her whole family, the Chance family. I consider them really responsible for for my ability to act. They cut through a lot of BS, because I was an Army officer, so I had a lot of decorum, and they ruthlessly just slashed through it, and they said, get up there, give your character the chance to exist. Anyway, I digress. But so Bobby Chance said to me, she said to the whole class, she said, let your life be all instinct. And she said, everything I've done, guys, has been all instinct. And when I first came to LA, she taught me that. And everything I do is instinct. Never once do I doubt myself.
And you know what? It's funny about that, Ming, but not funny in a ha-ha way, in a great way. Rhiannon and I, our thing we always say too, and I say to her, we grossly underprepare for shows mentally. Now, when it comes to things we need to know, like guest information, absolutely, but in terms of what we're going to say or how we're going to say it, we grossly underthink, because it's that instinctual, just off-the-cuff, natural, organic stuff that makes the show. And if we ever try to go scripted, and the best stuff we do is off-the-cuff like this, we can't go scripted on this. But it makes it easier, and I said on the show, it might have been like a couple weeks ago, Rhiannon and I talked about, it's just like a marriage. Like the best sex you have, or any relationship, is when you trust each other.
That's it.
And you can't, so that analogy we use for the show, it's true, like we trust each other fully, so we have the best show, the best sex, the best show, in terms of that analogy. Because we have that trust in each other and ourselves, so we just roll, and it's working.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. I think that what's rough, raw, organic, and that's the other thing. Life is not neat. Life is not compartmentalized. Life is messy.
It really is.
Life is a spittle flying, range of a cacophony of emotions, and that's what makes good acting good to watch. We do things other people want to do but are not allowed to, or have been told they can't, or something. But I every little thing, like in the scene where where they snort the angel.
Yeah, I was like, angel dust.
Angel dust. So they snort the angel, and Ray Trickett, who's an amazing actor, I mean, he's like a Shakespearean actor, top of the line. We're blessed to get him. He just he snorted the angel, and he goes, pow, crazy, like, that was totally like him. That wasn't in the script, and he just channeled like Christopher Walken. It was fun. So there were a whole bunch of things that were ad-libbed and were natural, and our director, Melissa Tracy, was like, this is good.
Oh, good. I
So, it was okay, I was an Army officer. I was a tough cookie, yada, yada. Making a movie was the hardest freaking thing and the scariest freaking thing I've ever done, and I just can't wait to do it again. I'd rather do that more than base jumping, which is another thing I really want to do.
Well, that's why you'll keep succeeding, Ming, because it's a passion. You can't, it's impossible not to. When it's a true passion and you're going with your heart in that way, you can't fail. Yeah. It's an unstoppable energy, just like that almost tangible energy that we can feel right now. It's an unstoppable force. It's love. It's that passion that people keep watching and they go, wow, like how do I get there? Well, it's because it's so genuine and you're so in love with it, whatever it is.
It is what keeps me going. My teeth sweat. I salivate. I have to, I'm always like just walking. My neighbors, they must think I'm nuts, but I always am walking around the house, talking to myself, in different characters, getting ideas, and eventually the characters, they present themselves to me. I didn't know what Azure's name was. I had a fever one night. It was one of those weird things. I remember sitting bolt upright in the middle of that fever, and she told me, my name is Azure St. Clair. And right in there. And I said, okay, Azure it is. And they start to make demands of you, your characters. Of course, I mean, this exists solely in the inner sanctum of your mind, but they speak back. They start, and stories start to go their own way. Rarely does a story, I have a general composite of something. Red River came to me in a dream. And I was talking to my girlfriend Linda about it, about the dream. She goes, Ming, you ought to make that into a movie. And I said, holy mackerel, maybe I ought to. And it just started to take form. And the general idea of it was there was a Red River where your dreams could come true. You stand at the banks of it, and 1,000 eyes under the waves look at you. And if you're there for reasons that are to serve mankind, it will flick a tributary your way, like a mercury-like rivulet. And then when it touches you, it imbues you with that genius. Well, rarely do people have pure motives, right? They want superstardom, they want revenge. See, what they're not told is that a lot of your true desires lie within the subconscious. It's where the trouble starts.
Yeah.
That's where the horrific things happen. And I read it, wrote it, read it. There were times I ran out of my house like an idiot, like in my jammies, you know, and my chihuahua, you know, Chachi, who played Van Helsing.
Van Helsing.
You know, Van Helsing. He's in the
him.
window like, get your stupid ass back in here. What are you doing? Oh,
He's so cute.
I mean, I'd freak myself out. And my business partner, Jen, who's an amazing director, she directed me in Atypical Love. Stephen Bauer was in it, Eddie Griffin. You know, great movie, a cute little comedy. I played a call girl with a heart of gold. Anyway, she read it and she said, this is one of the best scripts I've ever read. And she had been employed to do nothing but read thousands of scripts. And I said, would you direct it? And she said, hell yeah. And I was like, want to partner up? You know, she's like, I'd love to partner up. So we're partners. She did a final edit of Vampie, and we got the red Elvises. I remember Igor Yusev. I called him up. I'm like, Igor, can I use your music? He's like, yeah, sure, you use my music. No problem.
I love it.
You know, so I come and I hang out with him, you know, and he was like making food for me. He's like, I like you. You don't have to pay me. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pay you. He goes, no, you don't have to pay me. I'm like, I'll pay you.
That's
He goes, okay, no problem. So we ended up spending a New Year's Eve together. And he was, I mean, not like, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, he was such a gentleman. But, you know, he was very European, you know. He'll have all these cold cuts and, like, you know, cheeses and
Rhiannon,
cheese.
we know we're spending New Year's this year.
Yeah, we love cheese.
Really.
Mention cheese, we're kind of there.
Oh, you guys, I am a cheese whore.
Us too.
Oh, we're wicked cheese whores. Yeah, absolutely.
I love
We were just,
cheese.
Meg, I'm not kidding you. Before you came in, we were just talking about cheese and how in our older age we hate it because we love cheese, but it's starting to cause us issues in our older ages.
Yeah.
Well, all right, so here's the deal. I like super stinky French cheese. I mean, it's got to smell like feet. Like
I love that too, and my wife hates it, and I love it. Yeah.
Red wine, smelly cheese,
Yeah.
French bread. Oh.
Yeah.
Man, now I'm hungry for cheese.
Yeah, I'm like this.
I'm drinking monkey shit coffee. Am I allowed to say that?
You can say anything you want.
Okay, so I kid you not. Best coffee in the world. A friend gave me a bag of it. So apparently, these little capuchin monkeys, they eat the coffee beans and then they poop it out. And then it goes through a cleaning process. But something about their digestive juices intermingling, processing, makes the best cup of coffee. I shit you not.
Literally, you shit me not. Is it nutty, Ming? Is it a little nutty? Is it a little bit nutty?
It's nutty. It's nutty. It's rich. It's amazing. It's got that certain essence of je ne sais quoi. But let me tell you something. Monkey shit coffee.
You're the first one that's made him laugh this hard on the show ever.
I'm crying.
Monkey shit coffee is like, it's like $99 for a bag.
Because you don't have a peanut allergy.
No, there's no peanuts in it. There's no peanuts. There's it's only like cocoa or what? Not, like coffee, cacao, or no, that's chocolate. But anyway, coffee beans. I don't purport to know much about that. All I know is that it went through a capuchin monkey's alimentary canal. And it poops out in like one big old log. And no, it's
well, at least you can distinguish it, yeah.
Those monkeys, okay, they're so funny too. They look like they're the same monkeys that like the Japanese, they lock up in a lab and force them to chain smoke all day. Anyway, sorry, but yeah.
So they're smart.
They're really smart. They're really smart. I actually want one. I want one. That'd be really nice, but haters would probably report me because I don't think that's allowed.
Well, you wouldn't have to spend $99 for coffee. You could just have your coffee making monkey right next to you.
I know. You could grow the coffee and then you could have him shit in it.
Yeah.
You have a delicious cup every morning, homemade.
That's it. I'm telling you. So this is what I'm drinking: monkey shit coffee.
You can sell it for top dollar. Ming's Monkey Delight brand coffee.
Oh, I like that. Delight.
Start your morning off right with Ming. Mornings with Ming.
I had this idea. I'm kind of entrepreneurial. I was like, hey, if I ever make it big, I'm going to open a whole chain of shops of, what do you call it, oil change places and call it Oil Can Mings. I'd stop in once in a while, check some oil. Yeah.
Looks good.
How you acted out.
You guys, I'm super stupid. Don't even.
No, you're fucking awesome. I love it.
Oh, you're awesome. Yeah. No,
you guys are awesome. I love you guys. I wish we were like neighbors.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Yeah. Well, we'll visit. See, Rhiannon and I soon we'll have to make a cross-country trip when the show keeps picking up.
Like a really happy-go-lucky girl. Like somebody's got to really go out of their way to make me depressed. Like I don't know. I wake up every morning and I can't wait to get out of bed and I can't wait to write and I can't wait to, everything is, well, as Nora Ephron said, it's all copy. Everything that I see, everything that I observe, there's always something beautiful to extrapolate from it, Yeah, I don't know. I can't understand, why?
Well, I was going to say, in hearing you, Ming, because I think Rhiannon and I have had discussions about this too, and I think when you go to really low points in your life, it's only we grow at our lowest, I think. So
yeah,
when we actually are at really low points, like the lowest of the low, and you actually never think you could ever feel joy again because you don't feel sad, happy, you just feel nothing. And then when you actually feel joy again, and you're almost in tears when you wake up happy because you never thought you would be able to do that again. So that's where we stay. Because in that joy is where you succeed because nothing matters. It's even right now where we are, we're just in my living room. We're just all talking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But so it's all natural and it just all comes. So I think when I heard you talking, I think from great pain comes great pleasure, as they say. And I think when you experience that great pain, in the moment it's hard.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have pain, you wouldn't be able to experience that awesome gratitude and that pleasure that you're talking about.
You're very wise. You're right. I, in my life, have experienced so much pain. Horrific pain. And, you reach a crossroads. Do you sink or swim? And that choice right there, you choose life. Choose life. I chose life. I chose through years of therapy and of faith. I'm a person of tremendous faith, and I chose life. And you start to realize that life goes by oh so fast.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but also, though, that if you have a desire and a dream, God has an amazing way of bending time and making things happen, you know, because there's no time in the astral. It only exists in this third density world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Creator certainly makes things happen for you, but you have to have that desire. You have to believe. You have to believe. And
right.
So, you know, it's very I don't know what I'm saying, but it's very, you're very smart to have said that. You're very smart to have said that, because
Thank you.
Yeah, because from great pain comes humor.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah, well, and also the ability to say the two most beautiful words in the world sometimes. Fuck it, I'm jumping. You almost die and become reborn. This different knowing sort of person. It really is that simple. You literally choose to live or die. And I mean, really live. Like, am I going to live? Meaning the way I'm supposed to. Am I going to do what right here finally? And that's where the joy comes from. That pureness and going, wow, you have this overwhelming feeling of love and you cannot be stopped. And then when you realize certain things, because in life we see doors and it's like negative. Because we can't see the beauty in it, or maybe there's a reason. So when we get older, we go, ooh, be careful what you wish for, because sometimes the biggest gift is not getting what you wanted in the moment. And you go, whoa, if that had happened, it was my biggest thing I wanted to happen. If it had, I wouldn't be right here. And this is the pinnacle. Well, you've got a lot of depth to you, too, which is always great for Rhea and I, because we always try to learn, too.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel like, again, we're always putting each other's paths for a reason. We all know that. Yeah. So I really try to hone in on what it is. And sometimes it's just that feeling to keep you going, you know, that sort of joy, and just to duplicate it and keep it going, keep the flow going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I mean, you know, it's easy to be addicted to bad things. Why not get addicted to good things?
Exactly.
You know, when I start feeling myself going down a path, you know, stop and do push-ups, or I'll do jumping jacks, just anything to interrupt that thought. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't follow through. It's not easy peasy. You know, it's not. You got to work at it.
Yeah, especially when things hit you all the time. You know, and it's like it's hard to keep that positive mindset. But if you don't, you're just going to keep going down.
You got to fight for your happiness. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah.
You know, there are some hills to die on. Okay, and that's one of them. That's one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important that the circle that you have around you, too, the people that you have around you is important, because they can drain your energy or add to it in positive ways. So choose wisely.
Exactly. I mean, I especially in Los Angeles, you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
In Los Angeles, if you can find a group of people who are special and good and genuinely just, you know, love you, my dear God, you hang on to them for dear life. Mm-hmm. You don't let them go. In LA, you know, to have that is my God, is a blessing. It's a blessing, mm-hmm. you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So
as far as, you know, when you made Vampie, how did you find your actors? And did you already know them? You know, were they already in your group? Did you put out a casting call? Like, what did you do?
So, Maya Merker, who played Grace, mm-hmm. She was in a film I did called Atypical Love. The one with with the stars, with where I played the call girl and worked with Eddie Griffin and Stephen Bauer and some amazing people. I met her. I saw her performance. She had a little teeny part, but she really maxed it out. So at the premiere at Raleigh Studios, she was there with some friends, and her energy was infectious. I mean, she was just happy, and I felt myself like drawn to her. Mm-hmm. And so a few years went by, and I thought, I need an actress who is light and love and bubbles and happiness, but I need her to be able to switch to something very dark, very bad, and do it mellifluously. So I called her up. I happened to still have her number. We had exchanged numbers years before, and called her up, and I said, hey, you interested in, I don't know, auditioning, or, what, you want to play this character? She's like, send me the script. So I sent her the script, and she's like, oh, hell yeah.
Nice. Oh, good.
So, and then as far as the other actors, we put, so I did the description, what I was looking for, age range. I hate that, the whole age range thing. Who gives a damn? Mm-hmm. But we're storytellers, right? But we had to. So and then people sent in their headshots, and I think it was on a LA casting or something like that. And they auditioned, and we picked the best ones. Dennis James Anderson, who played Pope Theodore, the first American Pope.
He was awesome.
So now, Dennis James Anderson is a former naval, I think he was a warrant officer, a Navy guy, served his country like 20 plus years, good guy, had me checked out. So, when militaries see each other, we're like, we're like, yeah. So anyway, we worked together, and we had our butts dragged across the stage a few times. Did some work together, and I thought, and he actually auditioned for the part, because I told him, I said, I want you to know, Dennis, you got the part, not because we're friends, because you were the best,
mm-hmm.
And Josh Delosier, handsome guy, but he channeled Julian. I said, give me somebody, I need somebody, you don't walk, you slither. You curry favor with the big guy. You're just a hedonistic, slithering character. And he brought the character, and Sophie Larissa, who played Ludmilla, great actress. That's not her accent. I said, can you do an Eastern European accent? She goes, yes, I do for you, and gorgeous woman. I mean, like, I felt like a friggin' potato next to her, and then of course there was Ray Trickett and Eric Strong, who played Tippy.
I love Tippy.
Everybody loved Tippy. Everybody, and Mickey Farrick, who played Wanda. She brought Wanda. They were just amazing. They were just so good. They were all so amazing. And they embodied the character. I was very open-minded when they auditioned. I knew what I want, but I was open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some drama, like in the beginning shooting. We had another Tippy, and he showed up, and then he just walked off the set. We couldn't find him. Meanwhile, we were losing hundreds of dollars, with each passing minute. And we had to look for a Tippy. Eric Strong had auditioned for the role of Father Jack, played by Tom Patrick. Excellent actor too. Tom is and handsome.
Yeah.
You know, so we contacted Eric and said, "Can you play a flamboyant guy? You know, adorable." He was like, "Yeah," you know, and he brought that. He brought it last minute. So, and the guy, I don't know why an actor would just walk off a set, but our original Tippy walked off the set. We contacted him and we were like, "Yo, what's up? Why?" He goes, "You guys weren't moving fast enough for me and setting up." I'm like, "Oh my God, you're not famous and you're already a diva?"
Wow.
You know? So in any event, so that was a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a blessing. Because that guy, let me tell you, he shot himself in the foot.
Oh, I'm sure.
Shot himself in the foot. But we lucked out. We got someone better. We got Eric Strong, who actually is a successfully working actor. I think he was on like Narcos or something like that. And, you know, so yeah.
Well, and his lines were good too. And he's like, "I was scared shitless. Who's this motherfucker?"
Who's this motherfucker?
I kept rewinding
God,
that part.
so
I kept telling Bud too. I'm like, "Oh my God, you gotta watch this part."
It was
Who the fuck are you?
I mean, everybody. I get so many emails. People are like, "We love Tippy. We love Tippy." They love Tippy or Wanda or Van Helsing.
He was so yes, Van Helsing. He's the star.
He's got his own IMDb page. He's got his own IMDb page. He was a rags to riches story. He was found, I didn't find him, but the story was he was found dodging semis on the 110.
Oh, jeez.
Little teeny little guy with big ears and bug eyes, you know, and dodging semis on the 110, you know, and then, you know, then he went to the pound, and then, you know, I adopted him, and then he became a star. Then, you know.
A little movie star. He was so cute.
Movie star. Sometimes, you know, I felt he was the smartest one in the whole movie. You know, because I figured it's ironic, you know, let's have a Jesuit, a Vatican Jesuit assassin's pet dog be Van Helsing and spew atheist philosopher quotes. You know? He spewed a lot more. He said a lot more atheist quotes, you know, but atheist philosophy quotes, but we couldn't use a lot of that. You know, a lot of it was dependent upon what we can use, what there's room for. But so there was that. Oh, and then Diana Kawasaki played Sister Immaculata.
She was funny.
And she was so good. I mean, she brought Sister Immaculata. She actually is a star. I think in the UK, she's got her own reality show, My Little Life, or something like that. And she's a prolific stand-up comedian. And she does a lot of stand-up comedy, and she really brought Sister Immaculata to life. You know.
Yeah. She's really good. Well, you're an incredible actress. Like from the very first scene when you come on, I mean, you through the whole entire movie, it's hard not to watch you because you are just so good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I work very hard on acting. I never take a break. Every day I do a little something, whether I do a little monologue or I really do. I do the work. You know, I do a lot of inner work. I do a lot of outer work. It's not easy. You know, making it. People think acting's easy. It's really not. You make it look easy. That's the key. It's one of the hardest things to do. Nobody really notices until it's bad acting.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my God, that sucked, you know.
Oh man.
But Yeah, but I can credit. I studied under the tutelage of Bobby Chance. I studied under Michelle Danner of Edgemar Theater. I studied under Richie Chance, Larry Chance. I studied under a few other people. Amy Linden. I did a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
I have the equivalent of a PhD in acting.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
But once in a while, I'll drop into an acting class just to. It's like a gym, It's just to break through the emotional constipation.
Mm-hmm.
People get emotionally constipated. We have to just blow that shit out the water, and get real. It's time to get real. It's time to get raw.
Yeah.
And as an actress, I think it's a misnomer, or it's a misstatement to say, it's about knowing who you are. No, who gives a damn who you are? Meaning me, as Ming. Nobody gives a shit. What it is, my character makes demands of me. Like, I ask her, what do you want from me before we shoot? And she says, responding as the actress, she says, I want you to get the hell out of my way. I want none of your BS. I want you to give me a chance, if only 1 or 2 minutes. Give me the right to live as who I am, a complete person. And I do that, I do that. And that's why I can't wait till Red River.
Yeah.
My character, Dr. Diana Denali, she has many facets. She's nothing like me. Nothing like me. She's not a very funny person. She's ambitious. She's got a goal, a goal of saving her son, and a lot of things. And so it's about getting the hell out of the way and letting the character take over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, you're always in control. You have a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, and they're like, "Oh, that's possession." It's whatever. I'm like, no, you're in full control of your faculties, but you're also allowing a segment of your creativity to run roughshod, and trusting. That's why there's all that work you got to do beforehand. I do a backstory on all my characters. I ask my characters questions, like, what kind of birth did you have? What was your first kiss like?
Mm-hmm.
When you masturbate, what are you thinking about when you come?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, it's sexual, but there's something else that gets you off. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about money? What was your most humiliating experience like? What's your favorite food? How do you breathe? Do you breathe all breathy? How do you walk? There's so many aspects of this character. It's a journey of discovery. And it's fun. Imagine getting paid to discover somebody, to become somebody, to be somebody, if only for a few minutes, to dress like somebody, to become an entirely different being. How cool is that? You get to play, and you get to have the focus of a child. Little kids have so much focus. They're like into what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what we actors have to do. We're observers. We're into what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's like, it's almost sexual. It's like, ugh, yeah, it's,
I love you, like you were saying earlier, but you have so much depth to you. It's so refreshing, and to hear this side of movie making and characters and writing and stuff, you don't normally hear this side. And it's just incredible that you can tell us that, and then we can, kind of feel a little bit like what you're feeling and how your process is.
Exploring a character. Yeah, I don't care if you're like, you got the smallest role in the film. You're the gas station attendant, like they exist anymore, but some places they do. What did he do the night before?
Yeah.
What did he do? Did he get drunk? Did he, did he pick someone up? What's in his eyes? What's he thinking about? What's he, feeling? One of the most important things of acting, people say, if I were to be an actor, what would be the most important thing in the world to know? To which I answer, the moment before. The moment before we shoot. What was your character doing? And it's less of it's less it's less of an esoteric thing than it is purely technical. You've got to know the moment before, because we're not shooting in sequence.
Yeah.
Sometimes in a film, they try to avoid it, but due to budget, location, somebody's sick, who the heck knows? You got to shoot the last scene of the movie first.
Yeah.
What was the moment before? If I'm shooting the last scene of a movie first, I am not coiffed. I might be sweating. I might have mascara running down my face. Somebody may have died. But that's the first scene we shoot on day one. So what was the moment before? That's not easy. In films, they rarely shoot in sequence.
Yeah.
It's always shot out of sequence. Because most people don't have that money to work with, especially like we indie filmmakers. Mm-hmm. We make do with what we got.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I get passionate about that. I love
awesome,
it. It's my life.
Great.
It's my life. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's my life. It's my life.
Well, and it's like, sometimes with the whole indie film and stuff, it's like you don't always have the resources available one day, and then the next day you do, and so you got to get whatever you can get done. And so, like you were saying, it's not ever in sequence. And so you do have to figure out, okay, well, this is the very end, or this is the very beginning. You got to figure out how you're going to film that. And it's definitely sometimes stressful too. It's fun. It's super fun, like you said, but sometimes you're like, oh shit. Oh, that didn't go as planned. Like, it doesn't always go as planned.
Yeah, it doesn't. But again, it's a gift. When things don't go as planned, it's like, how can we mine the gold out of this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in accidents. I don't believe in coinky dinks. Yeah, everything is something to play with, something to roll in your mouth, something to get to know. I love little accidents. I love it. When the shit hits the fan, I'm the one who comes out from behind the wall, like, it's like breaking into something or unwrapping a present, Mm-hmm. It's incredibly sexual. I know it's weird, but it's just, yes.
No,
it's not weird. No.
But it's hard, I'll tell you what. I was the executive producer, the co-producer, the writer, the actress. I had to pay everybody, it was a lot of like juggling, and I would never recommend anybody do it again. Mm-hmm. The next film will be far different. We have a much larger budget. We're gonna film in Nevada, the Red River. We've got far more backing. We had the money in our hot little hands. Then COVID-19 happened. Mm-hmm. So the investors are a little bit. Of course they are. They're a little antsy. But when this thing blows over, boom, we're on. We're in. Because we've got the deal. It's happening. We're in pre-production. For the Red River. And we're going to film in Nevada by the Colorado River. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be so much fun. And but I'm certainly not going to bear the weight that I did in Vampie, and
Yeah.
and thank God. I'll be a producer, but I'll have a lot more help. I was talking to some big producer people in Hollywood, and I didn't know this, but one of them told me that I am the first Asian American woman in Hollywood history to write, star in, and produce a full feature film.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
And I didn't know that. I'm like, really? Well, shit. Break out the bubbly. Woo!
Yeah, that's awesome.
Who knew?
awesome.
You know? Who knew?
Wow.
You're a pioneer, Ming, and a groundbreaker.
Yeah.
What's up?
Legitimately.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I just, if I can just, and the cool thing about Vampire is it's a woman-made film.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great movie. You know, it's fun. You know, you break open a bottle of wine, kick back, you know, and enjoy that. You know, it's basically about women. And we have men in it too, but it's written by a woman, you know, starring women, produced by, you know, a woman and a man, of course, but there's some heavy female influence in this.
Yeah.
It's a very empowering film.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I vowed to myself, because I know because it feels right, and I always go with how it feels with regard to creativity, all my films will have a happy ending. Yeah, I want to take you on a motherfucking roller coaster ride, okay, on ups and downs, but at the end, good will win.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's always that element of darkness will always be there, because, well, it's a yin-yang thing, isn't it? But at the end, you know, I take you on a crazy ride, man, but then I lay you down gently. So that you feel okay.
Mm-hmm.
Animals, babies, off limits. I think it's in poor taste to harm an animal in a film, not in the making of it, but on screen, you know?
Yeah.
No animals don't die. That's BS. Animals don't die. Children, off limits in terms of babies, you know, that sort of thing. You know, there is a child in peril in the Red River, but it's going to be okay, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I will not watch a film if I know that there's a tasteless killing of a child or there's a tasteless harming of an animal. I won't, you know, come on, guys. I mean, you know, life is hard. Life is, life is one big shit sandwich sometimes. So, you know, when you watch a movie, let's have a good ending. Let's have a decent ending.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's gory or what, but people are going to walk away from my movies feeling like, damn, I feel good. I'm going to go to bed now. Mm-hmm. You know, I might leave the light on for a little bit, but, you know, I don't feel like vomiting. I don't feel like, I've seen a lot of what comes across as horror or what's touted as horror.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. It's not horror. If it gives you a sick feeling, if it doesn't scare you, if it gives you a bit of a sick, depressing feeling, mm-hmm. Depressing is not horror. Sick is not horror. Mm-hmm. You know, I've seen things that they're in horror channels, but they're depressing, and I don't go there. You know, I won't go there.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe people mistake or they substitute substance for shock. And shock is not the same as horror, as you said, or gore.
No.
And we've talked about, even to get repetitive, but John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween, there was hardly any gore. It's the anticipation. As you said, it's that scared feeling, not that depressed, disgusted feeling. And again, mm-hmm. anybody can go around splattering buckets of blood everywhere. It's
true
the substance and the maybe not knowing what's there that keeps you on that edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sex. You know, if it's just bang, bang, blah, 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 you know, might as well run and take a jog. I want a mental orgasm. Seduce me. You know, with horror, there has to be a seduction as well. You know, case in point, last night I watched for the first time a horror movie that is grossly underrated. beautiful writing, screenwriting, layers upon layers of amazingness, and just it was like a piece of devil's food. The Exorcist 3.
I don't think I've seen that one.
You got to see it. It's beautiful and horrific, absolutely horrific, because there were no jump scares. There was none of that. There were no cheap scares. I mean, it was downright horrific, intelligently written. Each character, George C. Scott, my king, I love George C. Scott. All the acting was brilliant, and the imagery, just the imagery was horrific imagery. And if you guys want a really good horror movie that's grossly underrated, The Exorcist 3. I haven't seen The Heretic. I think that's Exorcist 2. But the first Exorcist was really good. The first Exorcist. I love 28 Days Later, because that's horrific.
Yeah.
Because it was so real, so bleak, so real, so scary. But Exorcist 3, I almost want to watch it again. I really loved it. Did you guys see the movie The Terrifier?
Oh, yeah.
That
what
clown?
was it?
I think it's called The Terrifier.
Oh, Terrifier. Oh, yeah, Terrifier's,
Yeah.
Dude, I was so...
Part 2's coming out.
Yeah, in October, I believe. Part 2's coming out. Yeah.
That movie scared the bejesus out of me.
That's a good one.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That's actually a movie that I'm very impressed with, that it's kind of a new, and I think Rhiannon will concur too, it's a new dimension and a new outlook that, again, it's not just a splatterfest. There's a lot of dynamics, and even the really crisp cinematography, the way it's all done. And Art the Clown.
Oh my God.
New icon.
It's so good. Like, I've seen it a few times. It's so good. I mean,
it's one of those movies, and it's gotten insanely popular.
Yeah.
And I think that, Rhiannon, how long, I believe you might be able to tell us this too, how long did they went on, they did a campaign, I think they made their goal of money in about 2 hours or something.
Oh, yeah.
It was some ridiculous, crazy
$100,000 in under 24 hours. I think it was, like Bud said, an hour or two, and they had already made $100,000.
Yeah, it was unreal. Yeah.
Oh my God.
For Terrifier 2.
Hook a bitch up.
Yeah, no shit.
You're like, how?
Yeah. It's like,
oh my God, I'd love to know how. It'd be a very interesting
that
case
movie
study.
Captures that feeling of fear, of that stalked feeling, as opposed to just, it actually blends it all well, because there are some pretty graphic, really graphic scenes in that movie, but it works in the context of it. It's not just gore for the sake of gore's sake. It works in the context of what you're watching and the story as a whole. So definitely an awesome, exciting, and one of those movies that's kind of kick-started things.
Yeah.
Do you know what, to me, was the scariest thing about The Terrifier? It was the moments in the beginning where the girls had a chance to get away.
Yes.
You know, that's what's scary, is when they have a chance. You're like, you can get away now.
Yeah.
But they're hanging out on the hood of the car. Meanwhile, that thing's getting closer. Had they moved a little faster, they could have gotten away, And that, to me, is scary. Mm-hmm. It's that moment of live or die. You could have lived. Oh, you're screwed now, honeys. That's over. It's over.
Yep. You went
it's that feeling of you can turn back now. It's not too late to turn back now.
Yeah.
That's what's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that foreboding feeling, just knowing something bad is coming.
Oh my God.
You're like, fuck! Well, Damien Leone, the director of it, he did all of the special effects and everything. So I was following that movie before it released in the United States. Like, for years, they kept trying to get it released out here. And so then finally, after I think it was, I want to say 2 years or something, finally it was coming to the United States. And so I kept, like, commenting on all this stuff, like way when it was, in the UK. And so I ended up getting it before it came out on pre-order. Like I got it before the pre-order. He's like, all right, you know what? Since you're a fan, here's a code. Get it. It'll come out to you first. I'm like, fuck yeah. I was so excited. So damn excited.
Yeah, I have to see it every once in a while.
Yeah.
So good.
Yep.
It's so good. It's so good. I like to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys like to be scared?
Oh, I love to be scared.
I love to be scared.
Yeah. It's just hard sometimes to find something that really, truly does scare you.
Yeah. It is nowadays. It is nowadays. It's like going to a thrift shop and you have to sift through a lot before you find that one piece that speaks to you, and that one piece of gold garment, they've changed. My favorite horror movies are the vintage late 70s horror. Mm-hmm. In the 80s they got a bit camp. Except for Return of the Living Dead, hello, mm-hmm. with, Linnea Quigley and all those guys and the punks, they would, that was really good. But like the latest and greatest horror movies, you have some good ones, Hereditary was good. It was, It was to me horrific in the sense that these things do happen mm-hmm. in real life. There are generational satanic families, and it was made me a little ill inside, but it was scary. It was good. It was It Follows, I think, is really good.
That's good.
Follows. But generally, a lot of horror movies just aren't that good anymore. Mm-hmm. It's sort of a machine. That's why I hope that the Red River will be able to, get the horror hounds their fix. I want to serve it to them on a bloody platter.
Well,
that'd be great. I can't wait.
I was about to say that. Well, Red River is going to be coming out soon, and you'll reignite some more energy and push some more energy into the horror community again. And, Ming, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Oh my God, you guys! I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you for giving me a voice and to be heard. And I officially love you guys. And if I may, I am loving Broken Halo, written by the lovely, beautiful Rhiannon Cole. And it's a beautiful quality book. I'm on chapter 4 now, and it is so good. I ordered it on Amazon, and I look forward to meeting you in person so that you can write me a little note. You are a beautiful, beautiful writer.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And I love horror, and I love reading, and I read the classics. I read a lot of horror. I read a lot of, Stephen King, Dean Koontz, mm-hmm. and you're really a talented, very talented young woman.
Thank you.
And I'm honored to get to know you.
Oh, that means so much. Thank you so much. My cheeks hurt. I'm all like blushing.
I can say
so
too,
much.
Rhiannon's heart equals her talent. She is amazing. Speaking from someone who speaks with Rhiannon daily and loves her very much, I will concur with everything you said and add to it the awesome part that I see behind the scenes. And you know what the great thing about Rhiannon is? What you see right here is what I see all the time. Just very genuine, very authentic, and again, a heart of gold, and extremely talented. I'm blessed.
I love you.
Well, hey,
you guys are amazing.
You're no slouch either, Mr. Man.
No, incredible.
Well, she makes me look good. She makes me look good. So we make each other look good. So thank you.
I'm so honored to know you, and I hope that that we can meet and hang out. But I feel like you all guys are already a part of the fabric of my life. I thank you. Kindly.
Well, thank you. And we all meet for a reason. We're going to stay in touch, Ming.
Oh,
and we're going to be supporting what you do, and we can't wait until your new movie comes out.
You'll never get rid of me. I'll keep coming back like a bad cheeseburger.
You better.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. That's a beautiful thing. We're honored and humbled to have you on. And again, we're going to have you on again.
Definitely.
And please do bug us. Bugging us is a good thing. Sometimes we like to be bugged, so it's good.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor, and we will definitely do it again. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
thank you kindly. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So real quick, let everyone know where to find Vampie and where to find you on social media. That way they can find you. So just.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm on Facebook, Ming Ballard, and I'm pretty accessible. I try to return messages and stuff like that. I'm on Twitter if you type in Vampie, and I'm on Ming Ballard and Instagram. And you can find Vampie, Vampie, the silliest vampire movie ever made, on Amazon, and it's streaming in USA, UK, and Japan, and soon Germany, and soon it's going to be on Redbox, Pluto, Vudu, Apple iTunes, and Google TV, and maybe Chiller and Shutter. We'll see.
That'd be, wow.
But right now you can catch it on Amazon. So
that's awesome. Hell yeah. Is it on DVD?
Sorry?
Is it on DVD where we can buy it?
No, not yet. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I would love to be able to. I think once I start getting to a point where I think that there has to be some. Oh, quiet! That's my husband, my cat Onyx. He wants some Nunus and Lulus. But yeah.
I could hear him.
Yeah, I'll give you some tongue later. Hang on. Yeah, eventually I'd like to get to that point. I'd like to get to that point where we have it on DVD. But it's not very quiet.
You can hear him.
Oh my gosh. You know, he bleats like a goat. He goes, meow. Come on.
The show.
He's my boss. He's my boss. What?
Yes.
Oh, this has been so fun. All right, Bud. And now your turn, Bud, for your shout-outs.
Oh, my goodness. Well, first and foremost, as always, the beautiful, talented, incredible zombie Barbie Rhiannon Nicole. I love you, my friend. As usual. As usual. Well,
I love you, too.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you. Zombie Barbie.
She's awesome. Secondly, thank you to Ming Ballard for coming on. Thank you, Ming. Everybody out there, go check out Vampie, the silliest vampire movie ever made on Amazon Prime, streaming all over the world. You can look for Ming. Future projects coming out. And we expect more awesome things from you, Ming. Thank you for coming on to my wife, Allie.
Thank you, guys.
You're
Follow
very
me on Twitter.
wife, Allie.
Hit me
Thank
up.
you for being born. And to my boys, I love you, boys. Daddy loves you. To everybody out there, keep following your dreams. It ain't over until you say it's over, Rhiannon. And we are just getting warmed up, my friend. Thanks, guys. Chins up. Love you. Thank you, Ming.
Bye.
Bye. And real quick, I'm just going to do a quick shout-out. I want to jank. I want to jank. Thank you so much, Ming, for coming on. You've been incredible. I'm so glad that we met. We're all connected now, and we're friends. You're part of our family now, so we can't wait to see everything that you're doing and talk to you. And we love you, so thank you so much. Bud, thank you. Yeah. Bud, thank you so much for doing this every day with me. You know, you're my best friend, my family. I love you to pieces. This has been incredible with you.
You're good people. Thank you.
Thank you. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. Johnny Ellenberger for doing our intro and our logo. Chris Atella for doing our outro and our iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts intro, outro. Huge shout out to Crazy Ink Publishing for publishing my books, Broken Halo Blood Curse. Everybody check out Possessed by Passion. There it is right there. Possessed by Passion. It is a new project that we're doing, releasing March 2021. You will get 21 books from 21 international and USA best-selling authors. Right now it's pre-order 99 cents. You'll get all 21 books. So check us out. Facebook, Amazon, everywhere where you can get books, you can get it right now. And with that, we are done. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Love you guys.